So I see this video on YouTube and it is about this guy that tracked how many times he masturbates in a full year with like statistical analysis and breakdown. And I was just fascinated by this and I was thinking I have to do my own reaction to this thing. And to my surprise, as I'm searching for this phenomenon on Reddit, because of course it is someone on Reddit that did this, I am finding all of these different examples of people doing the exact same thing, tracking the exact same thing, even couples tracking their masturbation habits, and I'm thinking, what is this? Is this some kind of new trend? What am I missing here? Why is this happening? So if you've been watching my videos, you know that I am pretty against porn and fairly against masturbation. I think masturbation is okay if you don't take it too far. So when I see that people are tracking masturbation, I think that is definitely too far in my opinion, especially the numbers that these people are pulling out. It's like 50 times in a month. That means multiple days in that month you are doing it more than one time, which is just insane to me. I've seen one where a guy did it 7 times in one day in March. Coincidentally, this was right around the time where the lockdown started from the the thing that might have come from somewhere in Asia. And I'm thinking, these are the true fapstronauts, really, where that term, I guess, came from the nofap movement. But I mean, these guys are pioneers, really tracking this, putting science to their masturbation. I guess when you have that much free time and you can masturbate more than once a day, every day of the month, then I guess when you have all that free time, you can just spend it doing data analysis on your bodily functions and your possibly addictions, which is why I wanted to make this video, because these are the exact people that would benefit from not masturbating and stopping watching and from quitting porn. I assume that most of these people, when they masturbate, are watching porn, which is not a good thing, and especially if it's a daily thing, then that is clearly a habit, and if it's a habit, it's most likely an addiction in which you cannot quit easily. So I'm just warning people out there that don't do this crazy stuff. Also, I can't imagine masturbating once or even twice a day is going to do you anything beneficial other than like instant gratification, other than just kind of like a short high. It's not going to help your chances ever meeting someone in person, because why would you want to if you're completely sexually satiated, like almost over-satiated? I would say definitely over-satiated if it's more than once a day. And so, why are you going to ever have that motivation to meet someone in person and actually have a great sexual experience where you can bond with another human being and not with just your hand or whatever sex toy you might have? Trust me, human connection and real life sex is far better than masturbation will ever be, so take my word for it. That's all I'm saying. So the other problematic thing I saw was that one of the guys that tracked it for a year was only 17 years old. This means that this guy is most likely watching porn every single day of his life. I think there were only like 3 days out of the year that he didn't masturbate, which is probably like, I don't know, like where he probably was like hanging out with a friend all day or something and couldn't sneak off in the bathroom. I don't know what the scenario was for those days, if he was able to put it in every other day. But anyway, yeah, 17 is, that's so young, especially watching porn that much. And this was the guy that went 7 times in one day. And I'm thinking, that is so much porn. And likely he may not have had real life sex before. And even more importantly, he probably isn't that sexually experienced. At least I know I wasn't at 17. I wasn't experienced at all. So basically this guy is learning his sexual habits, his sexual behavior through porn, and a lot of it. And I worry about this guy because porn causes a lot of dysfunction, not just in the realm of sex. It causes depression, social anxiety, apathy, this kind of existential laziness where you just don't want to do anything, you don't want to ever find a relationship. And then you're sitting at home and you kind of want these relationships and stuff, and it seems great. And then you don't ever get it because you have no actual motivation to do it. It's just kind of like this nice thing that sounds nice, but you're kind of masturbating all of your emotion out of your body, literally. So then you're just sitting there kind of mad at yourself and mad at the world because you want a relationship, but you don't have one. And you don't realize that you're to blame for that. That's the one thing. The other thing is that this guy is going to have an extremely hard time quitting porn. So if we go back to my past, I started watching porn around 14 or 15, which was probably late compared to most people, but you know, when I was back then, it was like dial-up internet, so I didn't have like my smartphone that I could pull up at age 10 and find the most hardcore porn of all time at 10 years old. But anyway, I seriously only masturbated and watched porn maybe once or twice a week. I am not kidding. That is true, and apparently that is like weak numbers these days, and I'm like pathetic in that regard. But even at what I considered a low usage, because I always kind of felt guilty about masturbating and watching porn, so I kind of always actively fought against using it that much. But for me, at around like 22 or so, I started to try to quit, and it took me literally 5 or 6 years to quit. It was long streaks and then relapse, and then long streaks and then relapses. And I was just kind of in this continual state of just doing long streaks, feeling crappy, because when you quit, you kind of go into this flatline period where everything sucks and you don't want to do anything, and your libido drops to 0. But you still want to watch porn, which doesn't make sense because you would think porn is kind of sexually related. But it's really not once it becomes an addiction. It's just kind of this compulsory thing that you do. So it was extremely hard for me, and I am someone that I think has a lot of discipline, but it was extremely hard for me even being kind of a moderate, what I would call a moderate porn user. And I even didn't think I had an addiction. I was just kind of like, I want to stop this because I just feel kind of guilty about it, and I don't even know where that guilt came from. It was just kind of like within me. But even that, it was extremely hard for me to quit. So I just feel for this guy because he's going to have to quit watching porn if he wants to accomplish or do anything worthwhile in his life. Seriously, it is such a drain on your drive, your passions. Even if he never does quit porn, his life will never be as good as it could be had he taken that leap and quit porn and got rid of it and moved on with his life. So I just know it's going to be tough for that guy. And I was just fascinated by this trend of people also applying statistical analysis and data and tracking their masturbation. There was even one I saw where it was a group of like 4 guy friends all tracking and doing that, and I'm thinking, what's happening? What is happening in society? But anyway, I just wanted to kind of go over that with you guys, talk about that, because it is this new thing that's going on apparently. And I will say, please don't do this. Don't track your masturbation. Don't apply statistical analysis to your sex. But anyway, that's it for me. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. I will respond to as many as I possibly can. You can even ask me questions down there. But until next time, thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you in the next video. Quit masturbating, quit watching porn. Bye, guys.